Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here with a gigantic layout share. I did 20 layouts this week. I can't show you the 20th one. There are 19 in this stack, but I'm gonna kind of wave it by. It is a guest design layout for Spiegel Mom Scraps, and it's one I did last night. I did not claim points for it for the Mind the Scrap Summer Challenge, although I would have had a few on here anyway. I love it. It's, you know, the design team folks at Spiegel Mom Scraps are called Sparklers. And my youngest granddaughter, Ava, who is now 14, when she was 3 or 4, started wanting to make pages, and she used to kind of knock at our door. We live in the basement, and she'd knock on the door standing upstairs and kind of say, "Can I come down and make projects with you?" And one of the things she discovered were, she loved jewels, and she discovered my sequins as well. And so she used to put them on everything. But she did this one page on some Christmas paper that she got hold of, and she drew a photo of a Christmas tree with some presents under it, and she put a sequin as the star, and then she drew an ornament bigger than the Christmas tree and decorated it with a combination of jewels and sequins. And then she tried to spell sequin, and she spelled it S-E-K-I-N, and I've got that on this photo. So that's basically the page. I used Spectrum Sherbet, and I used an amazing Spiegel Mom Scraps mix called Scrappin' Happy, and I used the entire package of it. Fortunately, I had 2 packages. They sent me one in my DT pack, and another I ordered because I didn't know that was coming in my DT pack. But this is the sequin. That's what I have left of the one pack. So that'll show up on a layout soon. Okay, let me get to these pages. This is the last of the Mind the Scrap Summer Challenge. This was our last week, and so Team 1's and the deadline was about 45 minutes ago. Don't know who the winner is. There's another team that has twice as many layouts in their album as we have. So I'm thinking they may be the winners, but you never know. So I'm gonna just kind of go through and point to products. I'll kind of try to tell you whether there's a video out there or not. You'll see a lot of washi tape on this one, and there was a requirement for travel items and another for washi tape and another for stitching, and it could be faux stitching. And so I have a bunch of washi tape from Simple Stories Let's Go, and it kind of went along with in this case, the frame has a travel motif, and that's a picture of Johnny with the Bee Gees and on the Isle of Man. And here's some, I mixed Let's Go by Simple Stories with Spectrum Sherbet, and added in some craft. That I'm using mostly my Scrap Backwards kit, which consists of all the leftovers from previous Mind the Scrap kits. And I will tell you that at the month, when the month ends and I start my new kit for September, I will be distributing everything that's in that kit by color, or, filing it elsewhere. I will de-kit that. And there will be a fair amount left, and I may do a reveal to show what's... When I reveal my new kit, I think I will reveal what I had left before I put it away. So let's get on with the layouts. So there's this one, and this one was for Around the World and for Scrap Backwards. This was actually a Scrap Backwards page. Everything on this page was in my Scrap Backwards kit. And this one has another one of those Simple Stories frames. And I've been told that this plane is upside down, but to me, when I looked at it, it looked like those were eyes. It's actually the wheels, you know? So silly me. But this is an airport selfie that Katie took as she was on her way to Austin, and today she flies back from Austin. This was a photo that's been kind of floating around on my desk for a while, and I hadn't scrapped it. The reason was I was going to maybe go get some other photos, but I love this one because it kind of looks like that's a night sky, and this is the outline or torn edge of a photo of water and some mountains or rocks. But in fact, this is the side and the top of a cave, and we're coming out of the cave into the water. So there is a video on this one. This one was for Stash Dive Tuesday. And this one is a lift from Scrap-A-Sketch, and it's called Stories of Us. This is a photo of when we were floating down the Seine at sunset in Paris in June or July of 2001, when my cousins came to visit, and we all took this this boat. And this was for Around the World and the Green Challenge and Scrap-A-Sketch. And this was the sketch, and I stayed pretty close to the sketch, except I put a rectangular photo in there. And this one was a design team. We had a design team hop for Dottie About Flair, and it was to have a photo. We were all instructed to have a photo of ourselves on the page, and so there's me, and there's a little bitty me right here in front of that gorgeous cathedral in Mykonos. And to scrap about 5 of our favorite somethings. So I did my 5 favorite places, and honestly, I couldn't fit all my favorite places on a 12 by 12 page without covering the entire background, if that. And so I just picked a few that were favorites of the 2 of us and places that we either went back to or wanted to go back to. This was Fafa Island in Tonga. This was Mykonos. We always thought that the whole family would love Mykonos. Florence, we did go back to. We were there twice, and I'd go again in a second. Amsterdam, we were in Amsterdam quite often when we lived in Brussels. But this is from a trip where we took Katie to Europe for her 13th birthday. And Bora Bora, you know, I want to live there in one of those cabins. So enough said. Actually, of all the places, the place I would possibly like to live, the kind of the dream, is Tonga, the Fafa Island particularly. And I could tell you why, but it would make the video much longer. This is the blue sketch at Scrap-A-Sketch, and I did it for Challenge Accepted, which was also doing the Around the World hop. And so I had travel photos of Katie and her bestie in Austin in a yeehaw moment as they're trying on hats in a thrift shop. And so I have, instead of 3 panels, I have 2 because I messed up one of them. And I took a strip of pre-made mixed media and then did more mixed media on top of it and have some Spectrum Sherbet in there. It's amazing how well Spectrum Sherbet goes with this Let's Go collection from Simple Stories. This one was one I did without a video, just because I had gone into my Vicki Boutin pre-made mixed media pad for this. I saw this green one and thought, I have lots of green scraps in my Scrap Backwards kit, so let me pull all that stuff together and make a semi-monochrome page, except, you know, for the hints of pink in there. And it's just a photo of James and Ava at a concert at Ameris Bank Amphitheater, and I couldn't tell you who they went to see because they go to see so many. They share musical taste. This one is Mixed Media Mayhem, and this was the amazing original by Rebecca Moore. And she's, as you know, she is one of my scrappy idols, mixed media idols, and she's just a really sweet person. So I was intimidated, and I did this. So I did one panel in pink, one panel in green, offset them, and so the tails aren't even. I did the mixed media with neon texture paste that had dried out, and then I splattered all kinds of inks and glossy sprays and used every color in the book, whether it matched or not, because, you know, it's butterflies and they're every color you can imagine. So I had fun with this one, and I will say that I do love this page, and I especially love how these sunbursts, those were made with a, not a stencil, but I had die cut that shape, and it was the negative part of the die cut that I used as a stencil. And there is a video on that. This is for Pink Fresh Friday, and I used all these Pink Fresh fabric bows that came in Mind the Scrap kits. This is an old paper that I've had for years and years, and these are new florals that came in Mind the Scrap kit. So lots of my Scrap Backwards kit in here, and this is Katie taking a selfie in the most amazing thrift store in Austin. This is one of my favorite pages from the week. I love the photo so much. Natalie Nelson took this photo of Julie Mary Doyle and, excuse me, Sarah Davies and Scrappy Adam Westwood, and Jackie Gearing. And Jackie says she looks like she's in her teacher pose there, and I think she's looking over whatever they're doing and is about ready to tell them how it should have been done. But they're all amazing people that I was thrilled to have the chance to meet. I used the Simple Stories Let's Get Crafty, and it had this paper that looks like a cutting mat, and I love that. Threw in some Spectrum Sherbet. Not Spectrum Sherbet, that didn't come from Spectrum Sherbet. That came from Simple Vintage Artistry or something like that. And it's the mango version of that came in Mind the Scrap kit. And I used a couple Distress Oxide inks to do in an arrow stencil that came from Diane Reevely. And just kind of, I love the colors on this page. and speaking of pages I love, everything here is from Mind the Scrap kits and in my Scrap Backwards kit, except this goofy dog. And this was a page I did a day late for International Dog Day. And it's a photo of her that I took right before we left to go to Barrett's football game on Friday night. This is one of me, and did I do a video on that one? No, I did not. This is also no video. These are ones I did on Saturday, just kind of getting points for the team and scrapping photos that I had already printed. This is me scrapping with Johnny at the Dottie About Flair crop. And you can see Johnny's mom, Lisa, right there. And right here is my good friend, Helen Parker, because I know, I know where everybody was sitting. And I'm not instantly recognizing the other folks there. I'd have to look at the actual photo. But again, this is made with Let's Get Crafty. And I added blue in. There wasn't any blue. There isn't any blue in that collection. So I added some blue in because that's Johnny's favorite color. And I threw in some enamel dots because he loves enamel dots. And I did little kind of sections of encrusted sequins from Spiegel Mom Scraps. And that's Call Me Crafty is that sequin mix. There is a video on that, I think. No. I said there is not a video. This is another one that I know there isn't a video. This was made with about 5 minutes after my August Mind the Scrap kit was delivered. I made this page with the August Mind the Scrap kit. So there's, you know, stickers and stuff there. And the story is kind of sort of a bittersweet one. It's not as sad as it might have been had I scrapped this a year ago. But walking to the pool was totally empty except for that football. And I took a photo and then filtered it and cropped it way in so that you can see that it's a football. And that made me a little sad as I walked to the pool because John would be the one throwing that football to our kids or somebody else's kids, or he'd be the guy out in the pool tossing the ball, whether it was a tennis ball or whatever. And our kind of Friday routine, since we're, you know, retired and could do this, as long as the pool stayed open, we were at the pool, and then we'd come back and get showered and cleaned up and ready to go to Barrett's football game. That was our Friday routine. And so I did go to Barrett's football game, and I took a photo and used the same filter on it so they would look similar. And it's a Friday Night Lights kind of thing, so all of these little starbursts are kind of, you know, there. So I love this page, and it's it kind of, it was daytime when we got to the game, and the sun was like right in our eyes and boiling us. And then it turned night, so I kind of like that there's a night sky and a day sky there. It's a special little page. There's not much to it, but it's a page that is special to me. Now, we have 2 pages here. This is the first one I did, again using the Simple Stories Let's Get Crafty. And these are all photos from the Dottie About Flair crop in June in Cheshire. And I debated over and over and over again how I was going to do this page or how I was going to scrap all these photos. This was the smallest I wanted them because I wanted them to be visible. So I found these frames, and these frames are from Let's Go. But as you can see, the colors work just fine. I took that cutting mat paper and I die cut a globe from it, because kind of to signify that I had crossed the globe. I'd crossed this little blank space to get to the crop. And I have albums here close to Julie because her husband makes albums. And there's one of the other photos, there was a beautiful pillow there that's made with the British flag, that instead of red and white and blue stripes, it's got beautiful florals. And that was a gift from Ronnie Keatley. That just all kinds of special significance to this. Just love all these people and miss them dearly. So there were more photos, and I had this page of hexagons, and I didn't want to cut them all up, and I wanted to use it differently, so I cut with my craft knife and made kind of little doors or windows that I could insert the photos into. And so this is not a 2-page spread by the standard definition. But these are companion pages that when I put them side by side in my album are going to make me so happy. Now there is a video of the process of making this page, but I kind of go over this page in that video. So, and that is a Simple Stories Saturday page. So everything is Simple Stories except, of course, the flare, and this yellow background paper on this one page. So that's why I did not include this. I didn't include that process video because I was using that background. This started out not to necessarily be an exclusively Simple Stories page, but it ended up being, except for that yellow. I suppose I could have replaced it, but just didn't, because I like the pages this way. And this one is one I did yesterday that is for Scrap Squad Sunday. It went live today. This was the original, a strip down the middle, a strip across it, a photo, and then a card and some embellishing. And I just kind of went crazy, again, with my August Mind the Scrap kit. Most of this is August Mind the Scrap. I did add in this travel bit, and this is from a Simple Vintage Traveler, maybe, sticker sheet that I got from Adam. And of course the flare. And this washi tape is from a previous Mind the Scrap kit, and that comes from Let's Go, as does the orange. Don't know where the navy blue came from. It was just sitting on my desk. It's always on my desk. It's kind of my utility tape. But I had some navy blue elsewhere, this travel word and this, and so the navy blue frame on and that my favorite place to be. So, and that, actually these two things were cut from a Pink Fresh paper that was out since Pink Fresh Friday. And these last 3 pages do not have photos. I made them this morning just in the nick of time just to get some points. I know what photos I'm going to use, but I'm not going to describe them. I'm going to do a video where I finish these. As soon as I get some ink for my printer, I'm going to finish these unfinished pages. I've had this cut file for a while. It was sent to me again by my good friend Helen Parker, Helen Rockabilly Girl, or Island Scrapper, as you may know her on YouTube. And she sent that to me, I was gonna get all detailed and back each one with a separate paper, and then I thought, why not just put it over a stripe? And then I found this ombre stripe in the Spectrum Sherbet collection, and so I used mostly Spectrum Sherbet. This title came from a Simple Stories. What is it? It's Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Coastal, which is one of my favorite collections in the history of collections. And I just thought that color scheme would look nice, kind of bridging across the peachy pink part of things. And this little sticker came from that Simple Vintage Traveler sticker sheet. And this washi tape came from Let's Go. And of course there's a flare. So I know what picture's gonna go there, but like I said, I'm not gonna tell you. This is another one I did. We got an amazing sticker sheet in the August Mind the Scrap kit, and you can see I've gone to town on it. It's from a Photoplay collection called Beach Vibes, and I use that as my title. And I used the Spectrum Sherbet washi tape to provide a frame around it, and I just love that washi tape. I think I told you that I can see myself using this very quickly. But I just made a little beach scene, and again, I know what photo's gonna go there. And I used some beach flare, 2 beach flare there. Just, you know, had fun with that. This wavy piece came, and it just makes a perfect base for everything. And then I have had this overlay. It's a Fancy Pants. I think it is Beach Babe. Beach Babe is the collection by Michelle Coleman, and it dates all the way back to 2010. When I bought it from Archivers, it was in a discount bin of things. I bought it in 2012, and it had been in the discount bin for a while. In fact, I bought 2 of them, and I think I used one about 5 years ago, and this one was left. I had a piece, I had cut a strip of this plus sign paper that was in my Mind the Scrap or my Scrap Backwards kit, and so I had to cut it down to size and then frame it with this orange, which matched the orange in the sun rays. And I used a few stickers from the Photoplay sticker sheet, and also a couple from Simple Vintage Coastal. And it says Sans Surf, You and Me, and you know that John's spirit animal is a penguin. This was a girl penguin, but I cut the bow off, so and I may ink that down so it doesn't look like a girl penguin, but that's John, and the turtle is me. And I thought the green in the turtle kind of sort of went with that. But I love the overlay on top of the plus sign paper and with the orange frame. It just, to me, it really works. So, like I said, I will do a video where I finish these once I get some ink for my printer. And I thank you for watching, and watch Instagram and the Spiegel Mom Scrap Sparkler group for close-ups of the page that I just briefly passed under the camera. And since I do this video kind of as an accounting of what all I've created and how much I've spent, the report is that I have spent nothing. I didn't even need to order any essentials except the printer ink. I did order that, and so that blows my budget for the next couple of months. And so I did 20 layout. I did get a new kit in from Mind the Scrap, but that's an exception. I am a subscriber, and I will never not be a subscriber. So I love those kits. This one is a little bit going to be challenging for me because there's a lot of Disney related stuff, and I don't have kids that go to Disney, and so, but I can use the B-sides or kind of, if you're talking Adventureland, you can have adventures outside of Disney. So I'll be using it. The colors are fantastic. So anyway, I spent nothing and I made 20 pages from a few of them utilizing the new kit, but most of them using older kits. So there's a lot of, I feel good when I see this many pages made from things that I did not have to go out and buy. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week. Again, I'm going to try to stick with Sundays for my layout shares. We'll see how that works out for us. Thanks for watching. Bye.